Okay, so in this video we're going to talk about how to set up your gradebook formulas, and I'm happy to report that this is a very easy feature in Infinite Campus, and you can do this for all of your courses from one location as opposed to Tyler SIS going course by course. So to do this, we go over to instruction. Okay, so instruction really is where all of your teacher tools are located, and over here on the left under grades there is an option for gradebook. Posting grades would happen at the end of the term. So we'll go into Gradebook, and again up here along the top of the screen you have the ability to switch to any of your gradebooks of any of your courses from any of the terms. So I will just stay here with Chemistry B, my first period class in this term. In order to get into the settings, we go right here. It's always on the page right above Students. So I will click on Settings, and I am looking for the spot that says Categories. All right, here we are in categories, and this is showing me the categories that I currently have available for this particular course. I can, from this one page, switch to any class that I want to, or I can leave them all available and we can change them all at once. It's very easy to do. So I'm just going to click on my first class here. See, we are in first period Chemistry B, and you can see it shows me actually what my weights are. And I notice on here that I don't have a final exam. So I want to add that. But I do see I have classwork at 60% and homework at 30%. Let's show you how to change these percentages for classwork and homework, and then how we could add in a final exam. Again, these percentages should match exactly with your percentages that you've set up in Canvas. All right, so I'll go into classwork, and you can see this screen pops out called Category Detail, and this allows me to change the classwork percentage for all of my courses all at once. Now, you don't necessarily have to change them all at once. You can just go to the one course you want to change, which is indicated here in white, and change it, or you can change all of them at once. So if you're teaching the same prep throughout the day, it might make a lot of sense to do them all at once. Or if you have several singletons, your percentages are going to vary for each one of these categories, potentially. All right, so I'll go in here and say I want my classwork, again, the categories up here, and change that to a 50. And I'll say that for each of my classes now, my classwork is going to be equal to 50. So I'll just take a second and go through and do that. You can see they all say 50. Over here on the right, you do see we have rubrics or marks. I'm going to keep it with points because that's what most of us are using, if not all, in Canvas. We can change the leave the multiplier at 1. You do see there's a spot here that says exclude from calculations, so that might be important if you have categories that don't actually impact the grade. So over in Canvas, if you have a category where you put in there that it doesn't impact the grade, or you gave it a 0% over there, you're going to want to make sure that it says exclude from calculation on the Infinite Campus side. Okay, there is one other option that some of you do choose to do in Canvas, and that is to drop the lowest score percentage. So if one of the categories is really low, you could choose to drop that. All right, once I've made my changes and modifications, I will press the Save button, and I can now see that this has switched over to 50%. Okay, there is a classroom category here that I don't use in Canvas, so I'm going to choose to delete it. I'm going to press on Classroom, and then down here along the bottom you see there is a spot that says Delete. And I will press OK. And you'll see here a message will come up saying assignments are aligned to this category. Categories cannot be deleted if there are assignments aligned to this category. This is typically not going to happen when you're setting up your gradebook, but because this is a course that is in demo mode, they've already put in some fake assignments for us to see them. They did assign some of the fake assignments to this particular category. So I would have to go into those assignments and switch them over to the proper category before I can delete this category. So I will leave that now in place for now, but again, the way you would get rid of this or avoid this message altogether is to change the categories to the proper one, then delete this category. If this is the beginning of a semester or a school year, you're unlikely to see this message because you won't have any assignments in there attached to a category yet. All right, so I'll leave out of there for a second. How do we add a category? Again, you can add categories in Canvas. You can add categories in Infinite Campus. So the way we add a category is we go down here in the bottom right where it says Add. And up here on the top, I'm going to type final exam. And I'm going to add it to all of my classes, if it'll let me. Let's see, there we go. And I'm going to say that the weight is 10%. Again, we all know that that is subject to your CLT. Final exams are between 10 and 20%. I'm just going to say it's 10%. And I will say the multiplier here is 1 and press save. I need to go here to default scoring and say points for all of these. It's up to you if you want to use default points, which just means that when you make a final exam, it's automatically going to give it 100. You could set that as to 0. It's completely up to you. It can all be changed later. So I'll say sure, leave it at 100. I can change it later if I want to. I will press save, and it says error fields are missing, so we have to give the final exam name up here. I see that that did go away. And let's try all of that. You can see they really want you to go through and put in everything. So I need to give it a sequence because this is the first final exam. You could have 2 in a year-long course. And it says the category already exists. Uh-oh. So that means that there must be one already available that I have not looked at. Let's go back and take a look. So when I go into all of these, oh, I do see there is a final exam category. So it must not be attached to each course. Let's go take a look at it. So when I click on final exam, I notice, oh, look, it didn't actually assign to all of these courses. That's what the non-checked boxes indicate. So I'm going to assign it to all of them. And now go through and put a 10 in there. And I'm going to say the default scoring is in points. There we go. I'll leave the default at 100 and multiplier of 1. So again, kind of learning through a live mistake here that I wasn't expecting, but it's a mistake we're probably going to see. So in a way, I'm kind of glad that that did surface. If the final exam category is automatically put in by the school district, then we just have to look for it under all. Okay, now I will go through and press save, and there you go. It did it. All right, let's go take a look at each course here and see, do all these look correct? So this one says 50, 60. This one only adds up to 90, and I really want to hit 100%. You can see I do have a classroom category here that I don't want. So again, you'd have to change out those categories if that one does exist. So anyway, make sure that these add up to 100%, including the final exam, just like your Canvas course, and you can go section by section there. Excuse me, let me go back here. You can go section by section. Oops, me clicking on the wrong things here. You can go section by section under categories. Click on the first one, then I can click on the second one, and I can see what these percentages are and make sure that they are correct and are matching Canvas. And if I need to make changes, I can do them all at once by clicking on any one of the categories one at a time and saying what they are weighted per section, per course. All right, that's it. Let me know if you have any questions, but this is the process of setting up gradebook categories in Infinite Campus.